Lights, cameras, applause. The ESPYs were back in Los Angeles. It was July 16th. The crowd, star-studded, athletes, celebrities, legends, all gathered under one roof, dressed to the nines, waiting for a night of laughter, legacy, and recognition. The energy was electric. The stage was lit. And then came the voice, the presence, the host. Shane Gillis, a comedian known for pushing buttons, poking fun, and straddling the very edge of controversy. And on this night, he came ready. Ready to roast. Ready to stir. Ready to make headlines. And stir, he did. Because among the many names he brought to the center of his punchlines, LeBron, Mahomes, Djokovic, it was the name, Shedeur Sanders, that landed with a different kind of thud. Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, Gillis began, eyes sharp, smile sly. And people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father. A pause. A pivot. And it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career and he almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism, right? The joke hovered in the air like a wobbling pass. The audience didn't erupt. It didn't boo. It didn't cheer. Instead, there was that kind of collective exhale that happens when a room doesn't quite know how to respond. One camera panned to Lamar Jackson. The Ravens quarterback looked down, smiling gently. Not laughing. Not outraged. Just caught in the moment. A moment that said everything without saying anything. This wasn't just about a joke. This was about legacy, family, merit, perception, and the collision of all four. Because when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, the conversation is never just about stats. It's about who he is, and who his father is. Deion Sanders, prime time, Hall of Famer, Coach Prime, a man who doesn't just walk into a room, he defines the room. A man whose very name commands respect, admiration, and scrutiny in equal measure. And when Deion became the head coach at the University of Colorado, bringing his sons with him, there were whispers. Loud ones. Was this fair? Was this earned? Or was this family first, results second? Shedeur stepped into that spotlight. He wore it, carried it, played hard under it, but the scrutiny never left. 2 seasons. A record just above .500. Flashes of brilliance, yes. But also injuries, inconsistency, and mounting questions. And then, the number retirement. Some called it an honor. Others, a farce. Some said he symbolized a new era. Others said it was too soon, too light, too preferential. And Gillis. He said what many were thinking, through laughter, through satire, through one very public, very sharp jab. That's what comedians do. They test the room. They reflect the whispers. They throw fire at the sacred. But it's one thing to mock a season. It's another to question a man's worth in front of millions. And still, Shedeur hasn't responded. Neither has Deion. And maybe that's the most powerful part of this moment. Because while a joke can go viral, silence can echo even louder. This was more than a jab at a quarterback's record. It was a commentary on sports culture. On family ties. On where admiration ends and accountability begins. Was Gillis wrong? Was he brave? Or was he simply doing what hosts have always done, shining a light on the cracks in the trophies? Whatever your answer, the moment can't be ignored. The joke didn't bring down the house. But it broke through the night's usual glitter. It peeled back the ESPYs, polished veneer, just for a second, to reveal the messy, complicated world behind the highlights and the hashtags. And for Shedeur, the question remains, what now? Does he answer? Does he rise above? Does he return to the field with fury in his chest and a point to prove? Or does he trust the work, the process, the scoreboard to eventually speak for him? Time will tell. But this moment, it belongs to the night the laughter got quiet. The night the room shifted. The night a joke about nepotism became a nationwide conversation about what we value, what we reward, and who we choose to celebrate. At the ESPYs, where the best are honored, the brightest are remembered, and the unforgettable are immortalized, Shane Gillis made sure Shedeur Sanders' name was right there in the center. Not for a touchdown, not for a record, but for a question that's still hanging in the air. And whether you laughed, cringed, agreed, or rolled your eyes, one thing's certain. You remember it.